Welcome to Biology in Your Backyard.
I'm Dr. Mark Johnson.
I'm May. And I'm Oscar.
And today we're going to be talking about love in nature. Ready?
Yeah.
So May and Oscar, when you think about love in nature, what do you think about?
Mating.
Mating, that's a really good one. Yeah, absolutely.
When we look at funny animal videos and it looks like they're kissing.
When it looks like they're kissing, yeah, sometimes organisms show affection in different ways. What else do you think about?
Babies are prodigy.
Babies, because when you mate, the whole purpose of that in nature is actually for reproduction, producing babies. Is there anything else you might think about?
Yeah. How about like the courting rituals?
Excellent example. So organisms courting. So these are all examples of love in nature. And today's episode is going to be about exploring love in nature. So we're going to be looking for three things. We're going to be looking for examples of organisms that are mating. And then we're going to look at what happens after the mating, the production of babies. And we're going to be looking at babies. And then we're going to be talking about some of the differences between males and females and why do they look so different.
So why don't we go on a scavenger hunt looking for examples of things mating in nature? That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I hope we can find something. Let's go.
Hey Dad, I found some bees. I think they're mating.
Excellent. Oh, look at that. The male's the one on the right on top and the female's on the left. And what he's doing is he's passing his sperm to her to fertilize her eggs. Now she's going to fly off and lay those eggs in a hole.
Whoa, Dad, it looks like there's turtles wrestling. Sumo wrestling, nonetheless. What are they doing? Wait, are they mating?
You got it. Mating for turtles can be a bit of a complicated affair. The male's trying to get on top so that he can pass his sperm to the female to fertilize the eggs. But all of the sperm has to be passed by matching his cloaca to her cloaca, which is a hole that both of them share where all sperm, eggs, poop, and pee pass through.
Dad, do you hear the toads? I see two mating over here.
That's the male that's calling, and he's the one on top. He's waiting for the female to release her eggs into the water, at which point he'll immediately release his sperm to fertilize the eggs.
Oh my gosh, there are so many midges. They're all over me.
This is a mating swarm of males all flying around trying to impress females to mate with them. And if we look more closely, here's what they look like. The males have those big fuzzy antennae there. After they mate with a female, the females will go lay their eggs in the water.
Hey guys, I found a bee that's visiting/pollinating this flower.
Great find, Oscar. Let's watch what it's doing. Look at it walking around, probing for nectar and also collecting pollen all over its body. That pollen is the male part of the plant. That's equivalent to sperm in a mammal. When this bee goes to another plant and deposits that pollen on the stigma, the female part of the other plant, it'll fertilize the ovules, which become the seeds of the plants. Oh, it looks like it's going over to another flower now, and it's pollinating that flower. Taking the lazy way there, I'd say. That's how wildflowers mate. Or you can think of it as love of the wildflower kind.
So we found a bunch of examples of mating. So now let's go see the offspring of those mating seasons.
Because that's what mating's all about, right? In nature, is producing babies. I think that's a great idea. All right, let's go look for those babies.
Look, these two geese have a bunch of little baby goslings. Aren't they adorable? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Mom and Dad are standing guard to make sure that no one comes near.
May and Oscar, look at this nest with babies in it. I just saw a robin fly off, and it's got newly hatched babies.
Aw, these babies are adorable.
They're just so fuzzy and all packed together.
Hey kids, come quick. There's some raccoons in the backyard. There's the mom. Oh, look at all those cute babies. Oh, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 babies. Wow. Hurry up. Oh, there goes one more. There goes number 4. And 5. 5 babies. Wow.
Hey, May and Oscar, do you remember those snapping turtles we saw mating before? Well,
This baby snapping turtle is so cute. I can't believe he was just on the path.
Yeah, this little one just hatched out, probably today, and it's trying to make its way to the river. We'll probably give it a helping hand.
This is a toad tadpole that's just hatched out. You can see it wiggling its tail to swim around, probably looking for things to eat.
And for plants, their babies are, of course, their seeds. Like you see here from those plants we were looking at earlier, those seeds were fertilized. And if we look at them more closely, you see those individual seeds right here. Next spring, those will germinate and form their own plants.
So, Dad, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Why is it that in nature, oftentimes males and females, they look very different or behave in very different ways?
That's a really good question, and there could be a few different reasons for that. One reason often is that males and females, it can differ in how easy or difficult it is to find a mate. And so usually for the sex, where it's more difficult for them to get a mate, they will evolve different strategies to attract mates, to make them more attractive. So sometimes that's why certain animals will do a funny dance to try and attract a mate. Other times that'll be why certain sexes differ in their morphology. And this process is called sexual selection. And so this often explains why males and females are different. Let's see if we can find some examples of where males and females differ, probably due to sexual selection around our backyard.
Well, one of the examples I usually think about are cardinals. And you'll notice that the males are this really bright, brilliant red, while the females, like this one, are typically a lot lighter in color. They're less bright and typically a lot less noticeable.
Nice example, May. And another example is the goldfinch. You can see the males are a more brighter gold, while the females are actually a more dull color.
Well, Dad, I have a question. Why is it that sometimes females are a lot bigger than the males, like these toads, for instance?
That's an amazing question, May. The main reason for this is because it can take a lot of energy for a female like this to produce lots of eggs, a lot more energy than the male's expending. And so the females have evolved to be larger than the males.
So, Dad,
Oscar,
why do some males and females look the same?
there may not be as big of a difference between males and females in being able to attract a mate. So maybe sexual selection isn't so strong in those organisms. Maybe we can find some examples of organisms where the males and females don't look that different.
One example that we already talked about are Canada geese. The males and females look identical. Another example that we've considered in a previous episode are red squirrels. Again, the males and females look identical, and in general, squirrel male and females always look the same.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And now it's time for the nature fact of the day. Did you know that in some cases, due to sexual selection, particularly with spiders or even praying mantises, the males will actually sacrifice themselves to be eaten by the females to give the females more energy to reproduce.
Okay, we hope you've enjoyed learning about
Love in nature.
and it's raining, so we're going to wrap up here. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. See you next time.